Well, hello everyone, and happy Thursday. This is Lisa Freeman from stampingwithlisa.com, and I'm coming to you live on Facebook. And today is, let's see, October 21st, 2021, and it's a beautiful day here in Chesapeake. And I'm not showing my face today because I'm running late. I've got to go to work in about an hour, and I just got out of the shower. I still hadn't done the video, so I'm like, I just got to do it before I get ready. So you guys are just going to get the hands today. So we're just having hands. But I'm doing this beautiful Christmas card today. That's one reason I'm running late, because when I got up this morning, I kind of slept in a little bit, and I was like, uh-oh, I don't have anything to do for today. So I had to come up with a card real quick, and I had this one kind of in the back of my head for a few days, what I wanted to do. I really wanted to do kind of a wreath and put the bird inside the wreath, but it wasn't going to fit on the card. So then I ended up doing this, so it kind of looks like a fireplace mantle. I probably should have done like bricks or something here, but it's okay. But I thought it came out really good, and I was really impressed with my coloring on that bird, because most of the time I'm not a fantastic colorer. I'm just kind of a novice. So I thought I did a pretty good job, and I'm going to show you how I did that and make the whole card for you. And it's kind of a vintage shabby chic look today. So I hope you love it and that you're going to watch with me. Let me get my computer going and see if anybody's actually on here yet. There's a couple people watching. Let's see. If you're on here, make sure you comment and let me know you're watching. I don't know if you guys can see all the sparkle on this. I put a lot of Wink of Stella on it. So it is very sparkly. I put it all over here, and I put some here, and then I also splattered it on the whole card. So it's everywhere. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Pam. So we are going to do some coloring today, and a lot of the vintage look. So let me show you what you need first. You need the embossing folder, which is Merry Melody. That's the music on there. So we're going to be doing that. And then we've also got 3 stamp sets. The Happy Holidays, and that's the one with the bird. So we're just using the bird from that one, which I think is really cute. And then we've got Christmas Season. So we're using the pine cones, the holly leaves, these little balls. I guess they're berries, and the pine needles. And then we're also using Merry Christmas from Poinsettia Petals. So you could use any words you want to. This one just kind of fit perfect across the bottom of the page. But so those are the 3 main sets that you need. And then that embossing folder. And then for paper, let me show you the paper. It's only a couple colors. We've got a scrap of vanilla. I'll put that over here. A 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of evergreen, evening evergreen, sorry. 2 pieces of 4 by 5.25 vanilla, and then a piece of 2 by 4 vanilla, a piece of 4 by 3/4 vanilla, and a piece of 4 by 3/4 soft suede. So those are all the pieces that you need. Hey, Kathy. So take a screenshot of that if you want to make the card too. It's really not a hard card. It's just got a lot of steps to it. So it's going to take about 30 minutes probably, I think, from start to finish. So let's get started. I think I'm going to start with the embossing. So all you have to do is take your vanilla piece. There's 2 of them. So one's for the inside of the card. One is for the front with the you're going to emboss. You're going to put it right inside your embossing folder. And just remember the Stampin' Up side is face up. The Stampin' Up symbol is face up. And you have a line right there that you can line it up with. Make sure it's straight. So if it's not, you can always fix it. And so that looks pretty straight. You're going to put it through your die cutting embossing machine with the main platform and the specialty plate. That's the gray one. Put it through there. And then when it comes out, it's going to look like this. And then we're going to sponge it with our blending brush. And I'm going to be using Crumb Cake ink. I'm going to get a little piece of scrap paper so I don't mess up my work surface here. Get all these papers out of the way. All right, so you're just going to take a little bit of ink, dab it off. Oops. I got all these stickers on here. Everything's flying away. And I am not very musical, so I really have a hard time telling if this is up or down, which way it's going. Because that looks like the right way, but then there's some that are upside down, like that one. So I guess it really doesn't matter which way it goes unless you're really a music person and you kind of know what the music symbols are. I have never been able to play anything in my whole life. I am very not musically talented. I do love to sing, but I'm a terrible singer. The only thing I sing is, love it. That's about, no, I do sing a lot when I'm by myself. I sing a whole lot, but I don't let other people hear me because it's so bad. My daughter used to beg me to stop singing in the car when she was younger. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Rebecca. All right, you guys are live with me. All right, so you're just going to sponge that really lightly. You don't want to get too much on there. And then we're going to kind of distress it just a little bit. So around the edge, you're just going to kind of take your fingernail or your fingers, or you could take some scissors and just kind of pull it towards you a little bit and ruffle it. And I mean, your fingers and fingernails kind of work the best. But we just kind of want to make it distressed a little bit, like that. All right, and then we're going to glue that. Well, actually, I'm going to hold off on gluing it down because I want to make sure all the sides are even before we do that. All right, so then we're going to do our bird. So we're going to stamp that on the scrap paper, and we're going to be using Memento Black. And thank you guys so much for all of you who ordered yesterday. I got a bunch of nice orders for the sale that we had on the cling stamp sets. So I really appreciate you guys doing that. And I will be sending out the gifts on Monday. I'm going to be working on that this weekend. So I will be sending all the packets of gifts out on Monday. Hey, Laura. Oh, you caught me live today. First time. All right, so there's our bird. Always reminds me of, you know, and I think it was Bambi, when Bambi goes, bird. She's learning how to talk. All right, so I'm going to be using the Stampin' Blends on this bird. And we've got a whole bunch of different colors. So we're going to start with light soft suede. So I'm just going to do a little bit with the light soft suede on the edge. I don't really need that scrap paper there. All right, so we're just going to take this and just go right along the edge. Oh, you know what? Maybe I do need that scrap paper because sometimes it leaks through and I don't want to get it on my paper. All right, so we're just going to put a little bit where we want it darker. And that's probably good. Maybe a little bit right here. All right, so that's enough with the soft suede. And then I'm going to use the dark crumb cake. And we're going to go right over top of that. It's funny that this crumb cake is actually like a little bit darker than the soft suede, which I didn't think that would happen. Because I would think, even though it's the light soft suede, I thought it'd be darker than the crumb cake one. Alright, so we're just adding a little bit more color right here. Wherever that black stuff is, that's where you want the darker colors to go. So we're just going to kind of put that there. And then I'm going to go over with the light crumb cake. This is light, yeah, light crumb cake. And I'm just going to kind of blend that all together and kind of go over here and blend everything. And I like to go kind of in a swirly motion. It doesn't really matter, but and then just kind of go right around his eye with the light color. And I'm going to do this whole part right here, and then I'm going to go back over with some other colors. Oh, I forgot to do his feet. So we're going to add some more colors down at the bottom here, and the feet too. So I'm going to do the feet in the light soft suede with the skinny tip. And we're going to be cutting these feet out. So if you go out of the lines, it doesn't really matter too much. All right, and then I want to put a little bit of this pink color, which is light Calypso Coral. So I'm just going to put a little bit of this right here. Oops, that end is not very good. Let's put it with the thin tip. So I'm just going to kind of put a little bit here, and then I'm going to blend it out just to give them some color. And then I've also got some gray. I've got the light gray granite, and I just want to put a little bit of that here. Just kind of squiggle it around. It's kind of hard to tell the difference sometimes, but between the gray and the crumb cake because they're similar. And I also want the beak to be a little bit gray and a little bit of the Calypso coral. I want them a little bit darker than that, but and then we're going to go back and blend everything with the crumb cake again. This is the lighter crumb cake, I think. Yep. And then I have my secret weapon, which if you guys don't know the secret weapon for the Stampin' Blends, I'm going to show you what it is in just a second. All right, I think that looks pretty good, but now we're going to do the secret. So the secret is the color eraser or color lifter. So whenever I finish a project, I always go back with this and just kind of hit some areas with this, and it takes the color off. And so it'll make it a little bit whiter. So then it looks like you've really done some super duper great blending, because now it's going to have a little bit of white area in there. I know it takes a minute to do that, but after that it just like looks so good. Laura, the bird is from Happy Holidays. It's holly. I'll show you. This one, it's in the holly, the holly mini, the holiday mini, the holiday mini. All right, so I think that is pretty good. What do you guys think? You like the bird like that? And now we got to cut it out. And it's really easy to cut out except for the feet. So that's the only hard part. So let's do that real quick. It's pretty easy except for those feet right there. All right, so we're just going to whip through this real quick. Too bad for you guys. I don't know how to edit a video, so you're just going to have to watch, or you can fast forward if you want. Because I don't know how to do that. So you guys just got to stick with me for 1 minute while I cut. But it's good because you can see how I do the feet too. All right, so when you go down here, the easiest thing to do is just go straight across with your feet and then come back to them later. So I'm going to show you an easy way to get the feet done instead of trying to do them as you're going. And I'm trying to get pretty much right on the line. Sometimes I like to have a white area around, like flowers and stuff, but for this bird, I really want to get pretty much right up to the edge. And we're almost done. See, that only took like 1 minute. Not even. Okay. All right, so we got the bird cut out except for the feet. So we've got these little white areas right here, and that was actually vanilla. So what you're going to do is just cut little triangles out of between the feet, the toes. And that's going to take your little vanilla part out. And it's not too hard. If you mess up, it's okay, because you can take that soft suede Stampin' Blend and just color it in again. All right, so we got, I need one little teeny piece right here. Okay, so now we've done the toes, and there's a little bit of white still showing our vanilla, so I'm going to take that marker back again, the blend, Stampin' Blend, and I'm just going to color those so you can't see. So now it looks like there's no vanilla, so they came out good. All right, so there's our bird. Now we're going to work on this piece, which is the part that goes below the piece right here, which is supposed to be like a fireplace mantle. So we're going to work on this right here next. So we're going to do soft suede for the pine cones, and we're going to do evening evergreen for the holly. And I'm going to do the holly first. So we're going to start with the bigger one. And these are two-step stamps, so we're going to do these two together and the two pine cones together. So the bigger one, or the back piece, you're going to stamp off. So you just stamp off, and then I want, whoops, I messed up. Let's do it one more time. Oh, it's just got some ink on the stamp. All right, so I want these right at the very edge of my paper. So I'm going to just put them right here, right on the edge. And then, oh, missed a little teeny spot. We're going to take this one and do a full strength. So we're just going to go right over top of that. And it's easier if I do this upside down, because then I can see the other end. So you're going to try and line up those two tips so that it goes straight up the leaf. So pretty good. Not bad. All right, so there's the holly leaves. And we're done with those. All right, then we want to do the pine cones. So the bigger one, this is again 2-step stamping. This is the back one, this is the front one. So we're gonna, oops, let me do the words while I got the green out real quick. So we need, actually we gotta do the words and then sponge them, so we'll just hold off on that a minute. Okay, so let's go to crumb cake, nope, soft suede, sorry. And we're gonna do the pine cones. So we're gonna do one on each side. So I'm gonna ink this up, stamp it off, and do one right here. And then do it again, stamp off, and do one on this side. And I'm just trying to get pretty close to the edge of the paper because we're going to be cutting around that in just a second. And then this one we're going to stamp full strength right on top. And it's hard to see. It's easier to do these upside down. I don't know why, because you can see the edge of it. And then do the other one. Alright, so there's our 2 pine cones. We're done with those. Oh, no, we're not, because we got to do some on the inside of the card. So let me get that real quick. So the inside of the card is going to be the pine cones again. So we're just going to stamp off and stamp twice. And then take the smaller one, ink it up, and do it full strength. So you got 2 pine cones for the inside. So now we're done with those. And we're done with soft suede. So now let's go to the little pine straw. And that I did in crumb cake. The first time I did it in the sample, it's actually it's Sahara sand, and it came out kind of gray. So I didn't like that. So I'm going to do it in, let me see if I want that. That's too dark. So stamp off. And then do another one. Stamp there. And let's see, we can kind of fill in right here too a little bit. So put a little bit in there. All right, and then we need some of those little berries, and those are going to be in Rich Razzleberry. I had this sitting on the table from the card I did the other day, and I love this Rich Razzleberry for Christmas colors. All right, so we're going to do this full strength right on here. Do some kind of right in the middle. And then some over here on the side. And some on this side. So there's our bottom piece that's going to go under the mantle. So we're done with that. So now we have to cut this out. So the crumb cake piece, not crumb cake, soft suede piece is going to go on the top. So if you want, you could go ahead and put that on the top. But what I did with this was I mashed it up. Hey, Sharon. Just got home, and you caught me just in time. We're about halfway through, so you have to go back and watch the replay for the first part. I have to work tonight. I have to do 2 to 10 tonight, then be back in the morning, open to 6. So I've got a long night and day tomorrow. All right, so we crinkled this up, so now it's kind of all distressed looking, like our music piece was. And we're going to glue this down on the very top. So let's put glue on here. And the only thing is when you do this crinkling, it kind of shrinks it a little bit. So sometimes you have to stretch it back out a little. So try to get it right at the top edge. And just hold that a minute. It takes a minute for it to stick because it's not flat. And just rub that. But I love that look because it gives you just a nice kind of antique, vintage, distressed look. All right, so now we're going to cut this bottom part. So you're just going to go straight in from here and then just start cutting around the pine cones. And I thought this looked so cool. This was my own idea. I really wanted to do the wreath, but then when I started doing it, it was not fitting on the paper. So then I said, well, I guess I'll just have to improvise And I was trying to think how I could make it look kind of like a wreath, but not be round. So then I thought of this idea. I know I should have changed this to, or stamped some bricks on there or something, or done the brick embossing folder. All right, so I'm just trying to go around that. And then again, when you get to this pine straw here, just kind of cut some in and some out so it looks like, you don't want it straight. So we're just going to kind of cut out a little bit of it and make it look like it's really just hanging there. And I know I could have done all these cutouts and then laid them there, but I liked this look better and kind of on top of each other. Because you know how I am with that collage-y look. All right, almost done. We're going to try and get a little bit of this pine straw here. And the pine cone. All right, so if you don't like to cut, this is probably not the card for you. But if you do like to cut, fussy cut, then this is a really fun card. It's not that hard to cut it out. It'll only take you like 2 minutes, a minute for the bird and a minute for this part. All right, so there you go. So we've got all that cut out. So I think that came out really good. Except maybe right there. I don't like that. I'll just take that off. All right, so now let's get all the trash out of the way. So we've got this part, and it's just a sliver over here, so I'm going to cut that off. And we're done with that. So now we got to stamp the words. And the words, I don't think I need this scrap paper anymore now. The words are going to be in the Evening Evergreen. So we're going to use the Merry Christmas in there. And just be really careful. You don't want to get the edges or anything. And stamp it right in the center. And boom. Yay, came out good. All right, so then we're going to sponge the edges. So let it dry for just a second because I smeared the original one. So we're going to let it dry just a sec. And I wanted to distress this a little bit too, right at the very top. So kind of curl it just a little bit. I know some of you guys don't like the vintage look, but I love it. I think it's so pretty. Kind of curl that edge down. All right, so we're going to sponge this right here. So take your green sponge. I do need my scrap paper back. You're just going to tap off and then just go right down the edge like that. And that is called flecking. So you're just getting the edge, but then I'm going to put a teeny bit on the inside too. So if you want, you could leave it like that. But I'm just going to take a little bit of what's left and kind of put on there too. So then we're done with that. This is faster than I thought it would be. All right, so now we're going to put it together. Oh, I forgot I wanted to sponge this pine cone too. So let me get that brush back. And we have enough ink on there that we don't even have to ink it up again. All right, so that goes inside the card. So we'll do that first. And I'm going to use my green glue for everything except for dimensionals. Well, actually, we've got everything. I've got green glue for this, and then, oh, I have a trick to show you with the ribbon, too. I forgot about that. So I discovered this trick a long time ago. Actually, Shelly Gardner, who used to, she's the CEO of Stampin' Up, if you guys don't know that. She did this one time on at one of our conventions or something, and I was like, oh my God, I love it, with the ribbon. So I'm going to show you how to do it, how I got this like crinkly look on there. We're going to do that with 2 different ribbons, and I'll show you exactly how to do it. All right, so we're going to put this piece right across the middle here, and I'm going to put it on with dimensionals. You guys are so quiet. Nobody's commenting. Are you just like still there, or you fall asleep? Or are you just watching carefully so you can go make it? I know I'm rushing. Sorry. All right, so this one just is glued down, but this bird's going to be also on dimensionals. So So we're using a pile of these today. I want to get a little half one for the tail. So let me just cut a little piece right here. All right, so we're going to put just a little teeny piece right on his tail. I'm not going to do the feet because they're going right on top of the part that's already going to be raised up here. So take those off. Got a pile of trash sitting here. Sorry I'm rushing today. I can't be late for work. I can't wait till this weekend. I'm finally off. So Saturday, I got to mow the grass, and then I'm probably going to do a nighttime video on Saturday. You know, like date night with Lisa. Because I've got a lot to do during the day. All right, I wanted to put that, yeah, that's about right. Maybe a little bit above halfway. And that's crooked. Oop. Okay, that looks better. All right, so then we got that, and then the bird goes on top of that. Oh, you know what I got to put on is the ribbon. Can't forget the ribbon. Let's do the ribbon first. And this goes on at the bottom. I'm just going to go ahead and glue that down here. So I was debating between two different ribbons that both went really well with this, and I ended up going with the gold one because I thought it was more sparkly, and I just really liked it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down onto the back piece too. Whoops. Well, no, I'm not, because I got to trim that ribbon on there. All right, so here's my ribbon. So this is what it is. It starts out with the gold ribbon that's in the Holiday Mini, and I ended up doing this to it. So what you have to do is find some threads in here, and I'm going to start it from scratch and show you in a second how I did it. But you just pull a couple threads out, and you just keep pulling, and it will create that look right there. And I did it with this ribbon also, the one that's kind of like crumb cake and gold, and it also looked really pretty with this, but I thought the gold really was better. So I'm gonna show you how to do that in just a second. I have to get it long enough so I can put it down here, so I think I need just a little bit more. So I'm just gonna scooch it, keep scooching it. And you really have to leave it on the roll, because if you don't, what happens is the end will just go straight out, because this one that you're pulling will just come all the way out. So you have to leave it on the roll to do it. All right, so we're gonna put a bunch of glue dots down to hold it, because it's not gonna hold with just regular tape. So I'm gonna use my scissors. So put one right on the end, and then about every ½ inch or so down the edge. And this is a really fun technique, the ribbon. I don't know exactly what you call it. Like ribbon ruffling. Ribbon ruffling, we'll call it that. All right, so I've got what, about 8 glue dots, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down at the bottom. All right, so now we're going to put this on, and we're going to start, let's see, let's start at this end right here. So you're just going to press it down and then kind of squinch these little ruffles up on here. Until they stick. You just want to make sure you get them really stuck good. So that looks pretty good. Stick them down in there. And then when you get it exactly how you want it, then you trim it off. And trim it off this side. And that came out crooked. Okay. All right, so there we go. So we've got the ribbon all pretty on there. So now I'm going to show you how to do it from scratch. So if you have this ribbon like this, you just pull it a little bit to unravel some and cut that off, that piece right there. And then you want to grab one of the ones in the middle. So just grab any one you want. So, oops, here's one. And when you start pulling it, it's going to start squinching up in there. And you just keep fluffing it down. Just keep pulling it down. And you can just make it as long or as short as you want. So you can put it really tight, or you can loosen it up and have it, you know, looser. But you just keep squinching it down the thread until you get it as long as you want. So there you go. Isn't that pretty? I just love it. I think that is just such a pretty look. And you could do it, you know, all different ways. If you want to put it like all cinched up and really tight, you can. But it just makes a really pretty border. So that's how you do that. And you can also do the exact same thing with this one. So any of the ribbons that fray at the end, you can pretty much do that with. You just have to find a thread in the middle and just start pulling it. And it will do it the exact same way. So hopefully that's a new tip for you guys that you didn't know. All right, now we're going to glue this down. You guys are asleep, I think. It's lunchtime, time for a nap. I wish I could take a nap before I went to work. All right, so this is going to go back on the evening evergreen piece. And we want to make sure that our little edges stay curled up. I'm going to flip it over and press it. All right, and then our bird is going to go on top of that. And I've already taken all these off. All right, so we're just going to set him right down in the middle over top of that. So his feet are kind of like in that ruffly part. And then I'm going to take the Wink of Stella and I'm going to color some of these pine cones. Actually, this one's kind of dry. Let me use this one. Yeah, this one's a little bit better. So you're just going to color in there. That's picking up a little bit of green in there. Let me squeeze a little bit out because it's not coming out very good. Oh, there we go. Now we got a ton. All right, so we're just going to color all this to give it a lot of sparkle. And hopefully you guys can see that. I know it's always hard to see in the camera. So for those of you watching, what is your favorite Christmas stamp set so far in the Holiday Mini? I think mine is the Peaceful Cabin. I love, love, love that stamp set. I'm going to put a little bit on here too. And then I'm going to take my Wink of Stella pen and I'm going to flick it all over and give it a lot of splatter. Oops, maybe we should do it on here. And it is so beautiful. I love it, love it, love it. All right, so there you go. We are done. You could actually color the bird too if you wanted to. But that is my card for today. And I just hope you love it, love it. And hopefully you guys learned a new trick or two, like how to color with the Stampin' Blends or how to do that ribbon technique with ruffling it up like that. You could also use the sticky strip, not sticky strip, the tear and tape under there. That would work too. So that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have to run and go get ready for work. And hopefully you guys will have a great day, rest of your day. I will be back Saturday with another video, probably another Christmas card. Give me some suggestions if you want of what stamp sets you'd like to see, because I haven't made anything yet. So give me some suggestions and I'll try and make it for you. So have a great day, and don't forget to leave a comment. You could win the card. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I will be back soon, and you guys have an awesome day. Bye-bye.